Carpeted floors, pink porcelain sinks, a mystery slot behind the mirror. There was a time when bathrooms looked more like doll houses than design catalogs. Pastel tubs, Hollywood lights. Even razor blades had their own place, hidden in the walls. These weren't just quirky design choices. They were everyday features, built into the routine. Some were beautiful, some were practical, and a few? Still hard to explain. One in particular still surprises people when they find it, decades later, hidden behind the tile. Most of them are gone now, but they haven't disappeared from memory. These are 11 bathroom features that faded over time, and the quiet, strange, unforgettable stories behind them. By the late 1960s, luxury meant softness. And in many homes, that softness extended all the way into the bathroom. Wall-to-wall carpet, once reserved for living rooms and bedrooms, began to appear around tubs, sinks, and even toilets. Designers believed it created a cozy, spa-like atmosphere. And for homeowners in colder climates, the idea of stepping out of the bath onto a warm surface made perfect sense. Magazines from the time praised it as a modern convenience, a mark of comfort and style. Carpeted bathrooms appeared in suburban homes and roadside motels across the U.S. But the reality was less glamorous. Carpet absorbed moisture and odors, making it a breeding ground for mold and mildew. Cleaning was difficult. Replacing it was expensive. And when carpeted hotel bathrooms started appearing in the 1970s, guest complaints followed. By the 1980s, the trend had faded, but not before leaving a lasting impression. For a brief moment in time, comfort took precedence over practicality, and a soft bathroom floor became a symbol of a different kind of design priority. Tucked behind medicine cabinets and mirrors, an unassuming slot once offered a clever and slightly eerie solution to an everyday problem. These small wall openings were designed to safely dispose of used razor blades. During much of the 20th century, double-edged blades were made of metal and didn't go in the trash. They were thin, sharp, and potentially dangerous to handle, especially in homes with children. So instead of tossing them, homeowners would slip them into a designated slot in the wall. The blades would drop into the empty cavity between studs, out of sight and out of mind. Over decades, some homes accumulated hundreds, even thousands, of blades in their walls. This method wasn't unique to one region. It became a nationwide practice, especially in mid-century homes built between the 1930s and 1970s. As disposable plastic razors became more popular, the need for built-in disposal vanished, but the legacy remains. Even today, renovators occasionally crack open a wall and find a silent pile of rusted metal, a hidden archive of morning routines. In the mid-20th century, bathroom fixtures were often bold, colorful, and proudly on display. In the 1950s and 60s, pink, mint green, turquoise, and even sunshine yellow fixtures were a sign of modern, cheerful living. Toilets, sinks, and tubs weren't just functional, they were part of the home's personality. This trend didn't emerge by accident. First Lady Mamie Eisenhower, who decorated her private White House bath in her signature soft pink, helped kickstart the national obsession. Her favorite color became known as Mamie Pink, and within a decade, more than 5 million American homes had a bathroom in some shade of it. It wasn't just the color, it was the coordination. Matching tile, matching toilet lids, matching towel bars. Everything was deliberate. The style slowly faded in the 1970s, as neutral palettes and modern minimalism took over. But for a generation, pink wasn't just a paint choice. It was a cultural moment, baked into the porcelain of everyday life. Long before the modern toilet tank was tucked neatly behind the seat, bathroom design took a different shape and a different height. Pull-chain toilets featured a tall, elevated cistern mounted high on the wall, connected by a long pipe to the bowl below. To flush, you simply pulled a chain. Gravity did the rest. The elevated tank created a powerful flush, using water pressure rather than modern mechanical parts. This wasn't just functional, it was revolutionary. Introduced in the late 1800s, pull-chain toilets became a staple in homes through the early 20th century. They were most commonly found in Europe and parts of the United States, especially in older apartment buildings and Victorian homes. Made from porcelain, cast iron, or even polished wood, the tanks were often ornate. Some featured floral embossing or decorative brass hardware. Eventually, plumbing standards shifted. Low-tank, close-coupled models became easier to install and more space-efficient. But in restored period homes, or themed retro renovations, the pull-chain toilet still makes an appearance, a simple reminder of when even flushing had a little ceremony to it. In the 1960s and 70s, the line between bathroom and spa began to blur, and the sunken tub became the ultimate symbol of in-home indulgence. Set directly into the floor or lowered behind a short tiled wall, these bathtubs were designed to create a seamless, modern aesthetic. They felt private, peaceful, and architecturally impressive. Sunken tubs were most commonly found in mid-century ranch homes and high-end suburban builds. Some were surrounded by indoor plants, glass block windows, or recessed lighting to complete the luxurious feel. Others were installed near bedroom suites as part of open-concept master designs, a trend that briefly fused intimacy with innovation. But these fixtures had their flaws. They were harder to clean, more prone to water damage, and increasingly viewed as impractical. As building codes evolved and preferences shifted toward accessibility, the trend faded. Still, the sunken tub remains a symbol of a bold design moment, when the bathroom wasn't just for function, it was a retreat. For decades, no fixture symbolized bathroom elegance more than the clawfoot tub. With its deep basin and ornate metal feet, it stood alone, both literally and symbolically. A centerpiece of personal luxury, it offered something most homes had never known before: the comfort of a long, private soak. The design itself dates back to the 1800s and was originally inspired by European cast-iron bath vessels. By the time indoor plumbing became more widespread, the clawfoot tub had become a symbol of refinement. Some were simple white porcelain, while others featured colored enamel exteriors or gold-plated fixtures. But as homes became smaller and space-saving became a priority, the bulky clawfoot lost ground. Built-in tubs with surrounding tile became the new standard, offering convenience, efficiency, and easier cleaning. Still, the clawfoot never fully vanished. Today, it's celebrated in restorations and retro-inspired remodels, not just for its function, but for its form. An artifact from a time when bathing was more than routine, it was a ritual. Before wall-to-wall storage became the norm, many bathrooms relied on something simpler: a cabinet that stood apart, both in placement and personality. Made of wood, metal, or enamel, they were usually small, but full of personality. These cabinets often featured mirrored doors that doubled as grooming stations. Some had curved edges, decorative trim, or hand-painted details. Inside, there were fixed shelves for storing pills, ointments, shaving cream, and, often, a slot in the back for used razor blades. Freestanding cabinets were easy to install, affordable to replace, and widely available through catalogs and hardware stores. They gave homeowners flexibility, especially in older houses without pre-built bathroom storage. As bathrooms became more standardized, these standalone pieces were gradually replaced by recessed cabinets, built into the wall, flush with tile or drywall. The shift was practical, but something got lost in the transition. Today, original freestanding cabinets are often reclaimed as vintage decor, reminders of when bathroom storage wasn't hidden. It was proudly on display. In the golden age of mid-century design, lighting wasn't just about visibility. It was about presence. Hollywood-style vanity mirrors, framed with rows of exposed globe bulbs, became a glamorous fixture in bathrooms across America. This look was inspired by theater dressing rooms and movie sets, where bright, even lighting helped performers prepare. At home, it added a sense of elegance to everyday routines, a way to bring a bit of stage magic into the ordinary. By the 1970s, these illuminated vanities had become mainstream. Bathroom catalogs featured them alongside pastel fixtures and floral wallpaper. They weren't just functional, they were aspirational. But the exposed bulbs produced heat, consumed energy, and cast harsh shadows. As lighting technology advanced, sleek LEDs and integrated fixtures took over, and the bold, bulb-lined mirrors slowly dimmed from the spotlight. Still, for anyone who grew up brushing their hair under 10 perfect circles of light, the glow is hard to forget. Throughout the mid-20th century, tile and laminate weren't just surface materials. They were status symbols of modern design. Bathroom countertops, in particular, showcased rows of colorful ceramic squares or swirled laminate sheets that mimicked more expensive stone. Tiles came in every imaginable pastel. Some were laid in straight lines, others in playful mosaics. And while the visual appeal was high, so was the labor. Many homes had hundreds of individual tiles per bathroom, each one placed by hand, with grout lines carefully sealed for water resistance. Laminate offered a different kind of charm. Popularized in the 1950s and 60s, it gave homeowners affordable access to marbled or speckled finishes, often with chrome trim around the edges. It was durable, easy to wipe clean, and surprisingly bold in color. But over time, both materials began to show wear. Tiles cracked, grout yellowed, laminate peeled. And for a generation raised on grout lines and chrome trim, those bathroom counters were more than surface. They were style. For decades, the frosted glass shower door was a staple of the American bathroom, a practical solution wrapped in a touch of privacy. These textured panels diffused light while obscuring what was behind them, offering a sense of modesty without sacrificing brightness. Introduced in the mid-20th century, frosted glass gained popularity in the 1970s and 80s. The patterns varied, from simple etched stripes to elaborate floral designs. Some slid on metal tracks, while others swung open with chrome handles and thick rubber seals. The appeal was obvious. They were modern, easy to wipe down, and felt more permanent than a shower curtain. Hotels and suburban homes adopted them quickly, but over time, they began to feel bulky. The metal tracks trapped grime, and the textured glass showed wear. As design preferences shifted toward openness and clean lines, frameless clear glass took the spotlight. Still, there's something nostalgic about that frosted blur. A filter from a time when privacy and practicality shared the same pane of glass. Not so long ago, bathroom vanities were built much lower than the ones we see today. For much of the 20th century, 30 inches was the standard, a height originally intended to be comfortable for seated grooming and basin-style sinks. Most vanities featured a simple wooden base with a laminate or tile counter. Some incorporated pedestal-style sinks instead, with no countertop at all. These designs made sense in their time, especially in homes where compact bathrooms were the norm. But as people grew taller and storage needs evolved, the standard began to shift. By the 1990s and early 2000s, vanity heights started creeping up to 34, even 36 inches. The extra height allowed for more under-sink storage, fewer backaches, and cleaner lines. Those narrow drawers. The sound of a cabinet door echoing through tile. It wasn't just a place to wash up. It was part of the morning rhythm. A bathroom isn't just where we get ready. It's where we pause. It's where the day begins. And where it ends. And for decades, it held more than mirrors and tile. It held choices. Colorful ones, heavy ones, practical ones, some brilliant, some flawed. But all of them, deeply personal. Pulling the chain, brushing your teeth under bright bulbs, stepping out of a clawfoot tub onto soft carpet. These weren't just design decisions. They were moments that made a space feel like home. Many of those features are gone now. Ripped out, replaced, covered over. But if you ever find yourself in an old motel or helping someone clean out their childhood home, and you catch a glimpse of mint tile or a cabinet with a hidden slot, pause for just a second. Because even bathrooms have stories. And sometimes, the quietest places leave the longest echoes. If you enjoyed this look into the past, be sure to like, comment, and share the video. Subscribe to Nostalgic Vault Studios for more stories from the past, preserved, uncovered, and brought back to light.